everybody to episode 6 of Freight FM with Interlog USA. My name is Rachel. I work with the marketing team here at Interlog and one of the hosts with Freight FM. And we have Emily Smith, who is our project manager and also works closely with the marketing team. So the two of us are going to bounce back on some different topics today, mostly going to focus on what's currently happening in our market right now in our industry and how to prepare for when things could take a turn. I'm sure a lot of you right now know that things are stabilized. Our rates are close to what they were pre-pandemic, and we haven't seen too much chaos in the industry the last couple months, but there's always that turnaround when things can get a little rocky. And so we wanted to focus on what you guys could do now to prepare for a difficult time down the road when that does come. So I know there is talk that rates might increase here come later in the year, but we do have some topics to help prepare for that. So Emily, do you want to pick one to start with?
Yeah, no, I think a good one to start off with would be the spot market. It's a pretty well-known topic in the industry, and I know the spot market has been pretty kind of crazy lately and even in past years. But right now, Rachel, what are we kind of seeing with the market, and do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I think that's a really good one to start with because right now, spot rates are actually lower than some contract rates that we're seeing. So I know some people are staying with their contract rates that they have, but when things are like this, it is good to look at other options, look at the spot market, see what there is out there, because it could drive down costs while we're seeing rates this low. And so it is something to always account for, look into, talk with your forwarders about what it is versus what the contracts are, or reach out to other people as well. It's always good to consider that, especially when we are seeing these low rates. And if rates do start to increase, it's always good to have other options as well. So that's kind of what we're seeing. But I think also kind of to piggyback off that is talking with other people, seeing what other options you have out there. Emily, do you want to touch on how to kind of diversify your network?
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of funny when thinking about this. It's kind of like with most things, right? If you have other options, you remain flexible. Even if you decide not to go with that one option that you were looking into or not, just having the ability to be flexible, I feel like is definitely crucial and important. And I feel like one big takeaway people in the industry have probably learned after these few years, but some benefits with diversifying your portfolio and network. You can sometimes possibly save money, which, in this industry, price is pretty important. You hear it all the time, high rates, especially a couple of years ago. And another thing is just improving transit and delivery times, which again, it kind of goes into my next point, improving customer satisfaction, right? You always want to make sure your customers are happy and satisfied and constantly improve and how you can get better, right? And when you're able to save money for them, or you're able to provide reliable and better transit or delivery times, those are all great things that are just not only going to have your business and doing better, but also your customers as well. And just also another thing, not to go on a little tangent here, but asking yourself questions, right? Are there any areas with your current carriers that you want to improve on? What are your top priorities when it comes to shipping? Is it, like I mentioned, is it faster transit times, more transparency on your shipments? Is there something else? Whatever that answer is, use that to figure out the best option for you.
Yeah, and I think too with that, Emily, is when it is a slower market, you do have the time to look into where you want to improve and ask those questions, really identify what areas it is that there is room for improvement. I think also even with technology, what kind of online tracking and tracing portals does your providers offer? And are you able to see everything that you want to see? What milestones are you looking for? So there's a lot of different areas to help improve things down the road. And especially right now, when we've gone through the last few years of the chaos, what were you wishing you had during that? And taking that into account to go figure out how to have that for the next crazy market that we get into, whenever that could be. It's preparing for kind of what we've experienced and seeing what we can do to make sure we don't go under again on maybe the visibility side, or maybe you need more options where you felt stuck in what you had. So this is the time to really think about where are those areas where you were wishing you had, kind of when we did see that crazy hit with the pandemic.
Yep, no, I totally agree. And, like I've been hearing that, like the market is going to remain soft throughout this year. And like you said, it's a great time now to prepare for the future. I feel like it's a common theme in this industry, always wanting to look ahead while still, remaining in the present as well. And so now is kind of like that perfect time for shippers to plan for the next market cycle, in case you never know in this industry when things can happen. So, always striving for improving and all of that. But yeah, I think this was a great conversation. If any of our listeners are wanting to talk to any of our experts about this, or have any other insights or questions for us, please definitely reach out. Otherwise, Rachel, this was a great conversation, and I hope everyone learned something from this. But thanks.
Yep. See you next time. Thank you.